went viral for letting his students take out his braids was fired from his job. His students began texting him after he never showed up to his classes, which made him emotional.
Hey, bestie. I really hope that you see this message. How are you? I hope that you're okay. Our class misses you so much, and we really want you to know that we love you and we miss you so much and can't wait for you to come back. I can't believe that taking somebody's hair out is such a big deal, and it makes me so mad that people make little things big things. I want you to know that the class and others got your back, and we will always stand behind you and up for you no matter what happens. We got you. Again, we miss you and we love you so much, and can't wait for you to come back.
The teacher who went viral for letting his students...
You can take it down. I'll minimize it. Okay. So, as you know, we start with ladies first. To give proper context to it, teacher was in a classroom and the female students were unbraiding his hair. According to the school board, that is not acceptable, and because of that, he was terminated. Now, there are some things, as you know, my eyes, my ears, I visualize certain things and I catch shit very well. What do you take from this? And do you think he deserved to be fired?
I don't think he deserves to be fired. If they're stating that it's in the handbook, I want to know where. I want you to read line by line why, like where it says it in the handbook. Because if it doesn't say it, or it says it like, oh, that could be up for interpretation, then they're just reaching and they were looking for a reason to fire him.
Okay. What about you, brother?
Well, we have this side of the coin where the teacher seemed like a good teacher and the students loved him and everything. Obviously, when you look at it from that context, it's hard to find people who give a shit about anything nowadays, and especially a teacher who gives a shit about his students. It's a shame to see him get fired. However, there might be a B side to this story that we don't know about, which I'm guessing is what you were going to bring into the table. So my instinct, based off seeing a 30-second video from Instagram, is poor teacher, but there's probably a but here. So go for it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. As you guys know, I love to cook. Now, first things first, for Latinos, for blacks, for Caribbean folks, that's culture.
Right.
It is culture for kids to basically do our hair. I did hair as a kid, scratch my mom's scalp and shit, my sister's. And you have to understand, him being a teacher, those are like his kids.
There you go.
Your teachers are secondary parents. That's why they say be careful who you allow to teach your kids.
Right.
Because you want to make sure they have the same type of respect that they have. There's just one negative I find in that video.
Wow.
Why do your kids have your number? See, this is where shit gets tricky because it is a 30-second video.
Right.
Now, we know that in context, he was fired because of the hair. But it's bigger than that because in all my years, from high school, middle school, elementary school, I never had
a teacher's phone number ever under any circumstances.
That was
the only exception was like my basketball coach, but
because that's athletic division.
And even though she technically wasn't my PE teacher.
I played football. I never had any of my coach's numbers. No.
And if anything, consent of the parents,
right?
Because we don't know how the parents feel towards that. And again, these are not little kids. These are kids who are growing, and there's emotions involved. So maybe we don't know.
Middle school, high school, maybe.
Yeah, and in a world where we have seen grooming happening with R. Kelly,
correct,
Drake.
Oh come on.
You got a lot of dudes out here.
Kendrick Lamar fan over here.
Yeah, like. But with the whole thing is like, I honestly feel if it was just over them taking out his braids, I see nothing wrong with that because ideally you want kids to have a safe place. And if you have a kind, daring soul who gives them that space, then you need to respect it.
Correct.
And this is where being straightforward is a problem because just because something's legal doesn't make it right, and just because something is wrong doesn't make it wrong. That's called perception. So my perception in the first video of them taking out, that's innocent. But once they're texting him
Right.
Why do they have your information? These are things that strike my mind. This is where I say I go into it.
Right.
Because I don't have kids. I have nephews and nieces, and I got about 7 god babies. Speaking of god babies, my boy Tyrone, I'm godfather for his children and other children. I'm broke. But for the most part, man, I think it's really sad that it went to that far because we see so much worse shit happening.
100%.
You know, now, with him having them reach out to him, a lot of kids, as you know, especially you growing up, a lot of our friends come from broken homes. And we all had that one teacher who was solace,
Yeah.
who was our mental state where we felt our freedom. In my case, it would have been Mr. Lax, who taught me how to balance a checkbook, who told me what it is to be in the real world. Like, nothing in school I'm taking with me. It ain't about your friends. It's about how you respect yourself. And this is something he installed. And mind you, I didn't have his number, but when we saw each other out in public,
Exactly.
yo, this man
Yeah.
bought me drinks. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to actually grow as one where he kept it real. And the thing is, when people keep it real, somebody's going to get offended.
Right.
And I think that's where you really look at that video. It's like, damn, bro. He really loves these children.
For sure.
He ain't choking up over nothing.
Yeah.
A grown man ain't going to choke over that. He loves them kids. The only negative I see,
Why do they, have, his
why
phone
do they
number?
have access
Agreed.
to you?
I had to text my sister just now because I had to make sure that nothing's changed in the last 7 years that I've gone out of school and whatnot. Yeah, no, she doesn't have any of her teachers' numbers. Because I know university is different than regular like
No,
public school.
definitely,
Because
right.
obviously, you know, I have the professor's numbers on the syllabus, but
But that's for
That's-
work. That's
that's
just
called
for,
yeah. Just making
and
sure.
it's
Yeah.
different because look at this is what middle school. We're talking about college. College is a whole different
Nah,
ballgame.
because you're an adult. It's not the same.
And even then, it's problematic because how many times, listen, I ain't proud about this, but I know shorties out there who basically gave up for the grade. Okay, it's part of the game.
That's
It's-
crazy. That's
but-
something that you only see in movies. I
No,
never knew someone that did that in real life.
Listen,
You know.
listen, Miami Dade, FIU, okay, UM. I can tell you some.
I know people. I personally know people who had sex with their college professors.
Yep,
I
passed
find-
right through.
I personally find it gross, but hey,
Repulsive.
they're both adults. They do whatever you
That's crazy.
Listen.
want. It's not that hard to believe, especially in a
Listen.
city like Miami. Yeah,
Listen,
you
in
know?
Miami, coochie is a currency. All right, coochie
100%.
is a month. Listen,
100%.
it's a currency.
100%.
And the reason it's a currency, and I'm not saying this to bash women, because it's the niggas who are dumb as fuck for buying it. But it's currency because guess what? It's called sex appeal. You know what I'm saying? You can manipulate
For
if
sure.
you look good, whether you're male or female. If you know you got somebody who's feeling you, you can manipulate the fuck out of them to get what you want.
100%.
And that's basically part of the game. That's why you got to be,
So-
all on your P's and Q's.
So I've had this discussion with female and male friends of mine where females have superiorities to us that we don't have, and men have superiorities like things that are we're better than you in certain things, and you are better than us in certain things. Case in point, I'm not gonna make $50 million on OnlyFans, but a woman can do that.
Easy.
So, my case in point, our superiority, we could probably bench press 300 pounds if we get in shape. A woman can't do that. So it's just a reality of what it is. Some women, they use that to their advantage, and it is what it is. Is it right, wrong? I
That's
mean,
debatable.
it depends on your principles and your morality. You know what I mean? I'm the one to judge you.
Yeah, it's the
Morality
same-
is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Hey, you see what I did? You see what I did there?
Yeah, okay, you're right.
That's
Put it
how-
like this: it's more of don't hate the player, hate the game.
True.
Because at the same time, how many times we hear people complain about shit? But if you want, okay, for every guy who wants to hate on the OnlyFans chick, you know me. Listen, porn's free. I don't get it, but hey, knock yourself out, you know. But if they want to pay for it, they fall victim
all
to their
means.
own cons. That's it.
By all means.
Now, mind you, the more money you take, the more risk you're gonna have problems with. You know this.
Roberto's
you
like feet
understand?
finders. LOL.
You know what I'm saying? So
No. Listen, the feet chick especially. I bet get your grind on. They're not even doing anything risque.
but you see, we had to talk about that. and listen, if my partner said, "Yo," I'm saying, "No, the fuck you're not." Listen, I
Feet? Are you kidding me?
It's my feet.
If my
My
wife,
feet.
listen, if my wife was like, listen, I have to admit something. I've been making $50,000 a month selling pictures of my feet on OnlyFans. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, shit, where's the money at? You ain't been giving me that money. What are you spending it on?
See, it's not the feet that I have a problem with. It's the addiction of it. See, and you know this. If I say, yo, dog, you know what? I need you to sleep with this chick. I'll pay you 10 grand. Bet. Then it's like, yo, you see that chick? I need you to do some crazy shit with her. I'll pay you 20 grand. Bet. It's the fact that the problem with money,
the slippery
it's a
slope.
very slippery slope
get
because 1 minute you're doing feet pick, next thing you're adding oil, now you're showing your legs. It's like fucking, like, you know, chicken. You're just going higher and higher, and next thing you know, you're butt naked on the screen because the money's there. True. And people lose concept of what's really going on. They fall victim to their own hustle, and that's what's happening now.
While we're on the OnlyFans subject, I want to say something about Miami. You know what I hate about Miami? We get labeled as the OnlyFans city, and it's filled with whores and hoes and all that shit.
It ain't.
You know what I hate? Most of the women that come here and they're like live in Brickell and have an expensive car and pay all that shit off with OnlyFans, they're not even from here. They're from some other city and they moved here.
Yep.
And now Miami gets the stigma of...
Oh, they're tainted as Miami women.
Miami's full of whores. No, it's full of people who move here who are whores.
We don't claim them. Okay,
No,
let me explain.
no.
Let me explain who the real Miami
Horse before they got here, is that what you're trying to say?
We don't want you.
Oh my
we
God.
don't want you here. I don't care. I'm the most welcoming person on the planet, but fuck y'all. Okay,
No,
y'all.
man.
And here's the thing. You want to know what a real Miami chick is? The Miami chick is one who pulls back her hairs, wears chancletas, who's willing to jump in the whip, listen to good music, and just go out for a vibe. That's the Miami chick. This
Your
high
Miami
maintenance shit. Huh?
You're Miami.
No, my Miami chicks are toxic, but I have a problem.
Roberto says, Jason, what happens when you model in the ... Just saying.
Can you shut the fuck up and stop putting my business out there? Damn. All right. So final thoughts. We'll start with you. Final thoughts on the teacher.
You definitely gave me a different perspective. You know, I didn't even notice that he was texting his students like, oh, wait. If it's, we don't know if it's
Again, it's
actual
30 seconds, so-
iMessage or maybe like a
He's reading
learning
text
platform.
He's reading text messages.
No, but regard, I don't think he should be texting kids, period.
Or I don't know. But either way, it's not looking good.
Well, me personally, the school system has all kinds of broken. They fired a dude who seemed like he was a good dude, who seemed like he was doing good things with his students, teaching his students good things. Yet when teachers are fucking up and they're teaching your kids what they shouldn't be teaching them, they glorify those teachers. So I just think the school system is broken. The education system is totally broken in this country. They crucify the wrong people. They glorify the wrong people. And we all know that the school system has needed to change for a long time. So
Hasn't changed since 1954.
it's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
Final thoughts on it. I think it's important that there was video of what those kids were doing. Because the way the media portrays shit, they could have made this man look like the devil.
True.
And that video evidence actually shows grace. Him crying shows grace. I just hope what comes to light is the truth, and the truth is nothing but sincere.
Right.
So,